Hello, I'm really glad to have you with me today. In this third session, we're going to look at a few common challenges you may face on your meditation journey and how you can use a technique called mindfulness to deal with these challenges and get back to your point of focus. The meditation portion today is a little different from what we've done so far. It will be split into 3 short mindfulness practices, which you can easily do anywhere, whenever you feel the need to. In the second session, we discussed identifying meditation goals, setting up a realistic routine, and committing or anchoring ourselves to the practice. So today, we're going to look at a few challenges you may face once you've actually sat down. So you've sat down to meditate, full of hope and good intentions. You've settled yourself into a comfortable position and closed your eyes. You've paid attention to the instructions and you know what you need to do. So far, so good. Then you remember that you haven't paid the electricity bill or watered the plants. For that matter, you need to return a couple of calls and there's an important birthday coming up next week. You almost get up to start working your way down the list when you remember what you sat down for. Now you're upset that you've been unable to focus and continue to find it almost impossible to. Another day, you've sat down to practice. Your mind is calm, your body is relaxed, your breathing is rhythmic and regular. Your mind is empty of thoughts and you feel light and happy. You're feeling very pleased with yourself when suddenly your neck jerks and you realize you've been napping. The 2 most common challenges people face when meditating are either being distracted by thoughts not related to the practice or boredom, dullness, and sleepiness at the other end of the spectrum. Another thing that can happen when meditating is having sensations and emotions come up unexpectedly. These can also cause irritation, restlessness, and ultimately a loss of focus. I've certainly faced all of these, and sometimes within the same practice. So what do you do when this happens? First of all, know that it is normal. The world that you do your meditation practice in is the same world that you live your everyday life in. When you sit down to practice, a little bubble doesn't sprout up around you. Rather, you bring everything about yourself and your life with you onto your seat. Does this sound horrifying? Actually, as a meditator, this is exactly what you want. You want to start with yourself exactly as you are. And in order to do that, you have to first recognize and accept who that is, as a whole. This is where mindfulness comes in. Mindfulness is non-judgmental observation of the present reality, pure awareness of the here and now. Bhante Gunaratna, who is a Buddhist monk and meditation teacher, describes pure awareness as something that takes place in a split second before the rest of cognition takes place. So before you objectify, identify, and label what it is that you're looking at or thinking about, and then start processing various thoughts and feelings around it. Have you ever watched a child explore something new? They are filled with curiosity. They jump into puddles just to experience what it feels like. They haven't classified the experience of wet socks and shoes as unpleasant. In fact, they may discover it's quite fun to squelch around in them. They're not thinking, oh, if only I could be sure there aren't any germs in the puddle. They just jump in because they want to experience what that feels like. Humans are quick learners, and as we get older, it gets harder and harder for us to disassociate stimuli from all of the accompanying baggage. This means we lose out on the purity of the experience. We become cut off, automated, which also means we find it harder to change the way we respond to something, even if we don't want to respond that way anymore. So this practice of mindfulness, of just watching and exploring something with a sense of calm and accepting the immediate reality without feeling threatened by it, can be very freeing. It can be a relief. Alright, so let's practice mindfulness. Your goal is to stay focused on the task while remaining as non-judgmentally aware of and engaged with the process. We will work through 3 short practices. Relax and let my voice guide you through them. Find a place where you can sit undisturbed for a few minutes. Sit in a posture that allows you to feel open, relaxed, and alert, taking care to have your spine nice and tall, but not tight. Gently close your eyes and give yourself a few moments to settle in. For this first practice, you're going to pay attention to your breath as it enters and exits your body. Every time you inhale, you're just going to make a mental note. Okay, yeah, now the breath is coming in. And every time you exhale, make a mental note. Now the breath is going out. Coming in, going out. Coming in, going out. You're not trying to control your breath or change anything about it. You're just being aware of your entire inhalation from the time it starts coming in till the time it switches and then starts going out. If you find your mind has wandered away during the practice, just acknowledge that it has wandered away and gently bring it back to the breath. So remember, you're just going to note when it's coming in and going out. I'm going to leave you with some silence to focus for a few minutes. Well done. You can loosen your posture for a moment. Take a breath and then lengthen your spine again to start the second short practice. Now you're going to focus on your left hand from the bottom of your palm to the tips of your fingers. Don't move it. Let it stay where it is, in whichever condition. Bring all of your awareness into your left palm and fingers. Do you feel any sensations? Maybe some pulsing or flowing sensations. Perhaps some twitching or jerking. How about sensations of heaviness or lightness, cool or warm? If you catch your mind wandering away, just sit up a little taller and bring it back to your left palm and fingers. Perhaps you're feeling some sensations that you can't even describe. That's all right. Whatever sensations you feel, just continue to observe them as they are. Give them your full attention. I'm going to leave you with some silence to focus. Well done. Continue to keep your eyes closed. Turn your neck from side to side. And perhaps change your posture if you need to before the next short practice. So you've spent a little time being mindful about your breath and your body. And now you're going to turn your attention to your mind. How many times do you think your mind wandered away during the previous two practices? And for how long? You're going to see if you can catch the start of a thought in your mind and just let it go and come back to your observation. So you're going to sit in silence for a few moments. And every time a thought pops up in your head, you're going to count it. No need to be upset that it's there. Just acknowledge it, let it go, and wait for the next one. You will be aware of noises and things around you, but if you start thinking about them, then they count. Okay, go ahead and start. Alright, great job. Remember, however many you counted, staying non-judgmental is a large part of the practice. There's no good or bad number. There just is a number. And then you move on. So you see, mindfulness is an active practice. You're not just sitting there doing nothing. You're training yourself to connect with the present moment without any distortion or judgment. You're not imagining something that isn't there or wishing it could be different. You're not allowing yourself to get distracted with the past or the future. Here's a simple way to stay mindful into the day. Use your non-dominant hand for simple tasks that are normally automatic, like reaching for a water bottle or brushing your teeth, scrolling through your phone, or pressing buttons on the remote control. This will help you pay more attention to what you're doing while you're doing it. Remember though, that you also need to practice being non-judgmental if you take a little longer to complete the task or are a little clumsy. Thank you for joining me and have a wonderful day.